There are no shortcuts to building wealth today. It takes time, effort, sacrifice, and diversification. But today, diversification means something different than it did in the past. You deserve a more secure way to protect and grow your wealth. At Delta Harbour, we take this to heart. Our mission is to help by inviting you to add physical gold and silver to your wealth strategy. Book a free consultation today and let us show you how to protect and grow your wealth through the ownership of physical gold and silver. Let us show you the Delta difference. Hey everybody, welcome once again to another edition of Hard Money. Darren Long is here, John Scholes as well. Good to have you along. Lots to cover on the show today. Reaching out, deltaharbor.com, Harbor with a U, because this entire enterprise and this investment is all about you, deltaharbor.com, and 1-888-335-8645. Anytime you'd like to call Darren and the rest of the team and get this part of your portfolio up and running. It's a good thing to listen to the show over the next hour, get educated, and get started as well. The guys will talk to you anytime and have a basic, simple conversation about how you can bolster your portfolio in these very strange and very odd times. So physical gold and silver and other metals are always a good avenue to walk down and see if it fits your particular needs. But lots to get through on the show today. Darren, give us a bit of a recap of what has been happening.
Well, it's been a busy week again, John. I thought closer to the summer months, as we are right on the doorstep of the start of summer, kids are almost done school, that we'd get a little bit of a break, a little bit of downtime, and prepare for what seems to be an opportunity now with COVID settling down a bit to look forward to some time off and time with family. But this marketplace has had other ideas. This week in particular, and we'll review a couple of points. We want to get to the dovish versus hawkish argument about how the Federal Reserve is discussing the American economy, which obviously makes the world go round. If you're a gold and silver follower, you probably acknowledged what is no longer the elephant in the room. The prices of both metals did come down, but we'll tell you what we think our take is on it versus what the rest of the marketplace is saying about that. There's some talk about what is known as Basel Iii, and in the industry, that's essentially just a certain number of institutional changes that are happening that do pertain to some top tier assets like gold and silver. So we'll talk a little bit about that and the threats that are still around us. I mean, let's start with that. We talked on the last couple of shows about a number of things that are threatening the marketplace right now. But when we look at this as a whole, the ultimate goal of gold and silver ownership is A, to get protection in your portfolio, B, if this insurance policy is not necessary, it might be because the metals themselves are actually rallying, which is exactly what we're seeing and expect. So B, the making of money or return on investment, and C, to have some diversification in your portfolio. And this week, the Federal Reserve, the FOMC minutes came out, and the bank heads are all together speaking. And those discussions predominantly focused on somewhat of a change in attitude. As most analysts pointed out, they pick apart everything that's said during these meetings when the minutes are printed, and the overall attitude towards the economy is changing slightly if you look at the verbiage. It went from what was deemed a slightly dovish approach, and the verbiage was picking apart certain things about softness in certain areas of the U.S. economy. And of course, as the U.S. economy goes, so does the rest of the world. But in this week's wrap on the minutes, there seemed to be a slightly more hawkish stance, meaning a more positive stance. There was a little bit more verbiage talking about the growth of the economy and expectations that there's going to be tapering in the interest rates and the amount of money, not the interest rates, but the amount of money being printed, and thus interest rates going higher. And that could happen as early as year end. And so this is a big change in attitude, because if anybody's been following along, the amount of money being printed is staggering. We can no longer keep track of it. We don't have the exact number in front of us. It's in the trillions, and it seems that between presidents, we doubled the amount of money in circulation. And that is the case, and then some, between Trump and Biden, and between Bush to Obama to Trump and now Biden. In fact, the money in circulation throughout the world of the U.S. currency, the fiat currency, is 5 times as much. And so ultimately, this is a negative thing when you're looking towards the value of your purchasing power. And it happens here at home. Our purchasing power has been eroded lately. There has been some things that are well out of sync with artificial interest rates being so low. You've seen it in the housing markets, and now the housing market has become a huge issue because it's representing such a large portion of our GDP expectations. So just the commissions being generated alone are something like, ridiculous 6% of GDP, which is astronomically high, and just goes to show you how much we're relying right now on that as an economy. But I want to talk for a minute, John, because this ultimately is a situation where we find ourselves in, not necessarily everything wrapped around interest rates and the threats of inflation and what FOMC is saying and all those things that are going on in the economies worldwide. This is actually summer doldrum time. And if you were to look at a chart of gold and silver in correlation, and what we expect, and this happens every year, is that around June, end of June, middle of June, where we are right now, we typically for the last 30 years have seen pullbacks in pricing. Here they are. So what you do with it is up to you. If you're an investor, you're listening to the show, obviously this is something that's of interest to you. What you do with this opportunity is up to you. Will the prices remain low? Not likely. There's a very small chance that coming into August and then into September, we're going to see these prices remain in these price ranges. So while gold over the week did dip about 6% and silver about 7%, these are opportunities of a lifetime for people that are looking to either cost average their existing positions or start new ones. So this explains why we are so busy at this particular time.
Yeah, it seems like a good time to get out there. And if you haven't already started, maybe add some to your portfolio, buying the dips, right? Doing that is easy, by the way, as we continue here at the start of the show. DeltaHarbor.com and 1-888-335-8645. What else you got going on, pal?
Well, listen, last week we did a show, the Ask Me Anything show.
Yeah.
Once again, congratulations to the winner. Ron, he was in Ontario, and we're certainly going to be getting his bar out to him shortly. 10-ounce bars are hard to come by, and we've been fortunate enough to get regular shipments in, so that'll be coming out to him. But during that show, we answered a lot of questions, and in fact, one thing we didn't have a chance to really get to that was asked, a number of questions were asked about, was the idea of what this bulk bullion is. So on our website, we talk about direct home delivery of physical gold and silver. We talk about storage, and we talk about registered accounts as TFSAs and RSPs or 401ks in the US. And we also talk about bulk bullion. And bulk bullion is just a little slightly different system of ownership, but still physical. And a lot of people ask, what is this? What is this all about? What is the option of financing? What does that mean to me as an investor? So what I thought, John, is we could spend a chunk of today's show from second segment onwards talking about bulk bullion accounts, really getting people familiar with the idea of what it is and what that opportunity is. And really, it's just an extension of what we already do here, which is help people to own physical gold and silver. And so if we kind of superimpose all of these things that are happening, the summer doldrums, the expectations of higher prices in silver and golds, how can we best maximize our ownership? And some people that are with our firm use bulk bullion accounts. And these are something that we've used since 2004. Personally, I've been involved with the company that we partner with on these, Precious Metals International. Our YouTube channel has a very informative webinar that you can go and see on bulk bullion. But these are fantastic accounts, and they're very easy to actually get into and get involved with. So I thought we could spend a little bit of time in the show today talking about it.
And we will. Again, we are talking physical metals here. Physical metals, you can pick them up, you can hold them. They're heavy, they're beautiful, they're glorious. Get them in your account, and we'll continue with this whole bulk bullion process here in just a bit. Reaching out in the meantime, deltaharbor.com, harbor with a U, of course, and 1-888-335-8645. We'll continue. This is Hard Money on Sauga 960. Hey, everybody, welcome back. This is Hard Money. Delta Harbour Assets are who you're listening to, who you want to reach out to if you're talking about physical metals in your portfolio. Add it to your portfolio. Get the conversation going, get educated. That's all we ask before you make any sort of move. So call Darren or Rob or Roy and the rest of the team at Delta Harbor to start the process of expanding your portfolio. 1-888-335-8645 and deltaharbor.com. Harbor with you. Darren, we left off the last segment before we took a break talking about the bulk bullion and the account. That is, it's a really cool thing. I know you're well versed in this. You've been doing this for 15 years. But you wanted to get into a little more of an explanation exactly how it works and what are what the benefits, potential benefits of this are. Tell me about
Well, absolutely, John. And what bulk bullion represents is an interest in wholesale industrial large silver or gold bars. They're held by our partner in bulk bullion storage facility, and there are numerous storage facilities all over the world. Here at home in Canada, we use IDS of Canada in Mississauga, and we have options for Singapore and Cayman Islands. We have options for Delaware in the US and many other locations. But for product that is used through the bulk bullion program, number one, it's actual real physical products. So there is no paper or certificates or promissory notes or unaccounted for product. This is product that is held physically in the vaults, which is tangible, can be seen, and can be converted to other bar types or other types of bullion if you specifically want to as a client anytime, and delivery is still an option. The difference is that if I want to buy, John, essentially a 100-ounce silver bar today, I'm going to pay these what have become very high premiums to own that bar, because in this day and age, the high demand with the limited supply has meant that there's been more pressure on wholesalers to bring in product, but with limited options for restoring their inventories, the cost of those bars has gone up. So we're seeing it right now in 10-ounce silver bars where, you know, a year and a half ago, premiums on that were very small. They were only about $1. Now they're at about $4, $5, $6 an ounce in some cases, same as coins. And 100-ounce bars are also at a very big premium. So this bulk bullion account is brilliant because what it does is Precious Metals International continually goes into the marketplace to buy product, and they add that product to their master inventory. And then when a client comes in and opens up a bulk bullion account, they're not asked to pay these massive premiums because they don't have one particular bar in their account. They can convert if they wish to have 100-ounce bars, but they don't need to, thereby saving a fortune and being able to still get physical, tangible, hold in your hands silver and gold. And that's an option that we've been having open for clients for a very long time. And essentially, it's a money saver. It allows you to get exposure to physical gold and silver, but not to have to worry about the cumbersome inabilities that may be difficult for you as a client in terms of transporting heavy silver or having to find a place to store it at home or anything like that. And the bullion is owned entirely by you, the client. So it's an awesome option. Nobody else has a say on that ounce. Once you have bought an ounce, it's 1-to-1 in the vault, and that ounce no longer gets shared by anyone else, and it's accounted for on a regular basis. So this is actual physical gold and silver account. It is not a derivative or a certificate or any other type of paper holdings.
Let me ask you this. So how does pricing work for this? Is it the same as when I just walk up and knock on your door and say, hey, give me 10 ounces of silver and go home with it? Or is there benefits to it as far as costs are concerned?
Well, there is. As I said before, the bulk bullion pricing is at a discount to premium bullion, as the buyer does not have to declare the bar size or the type that he or she wishes basically to purchase. So it means the premium to purchase is far less. So so much so that individuals typically save right now, under the current circumstances we find ourselves in the marketplace, around 70% of the total premium that they would have paid for a bar or a coin. And ultimately, if you're not looking to have the product at home, it makes no sense to waste the money just to have bars sitting in storage if you can have this option available to you if you don't want to necessarily pay those high premiums. By all means, if the premiums go down later on, you have the option as a client to still convert to 100-ounce bars or 10-ounce bars, or in gold. You can make all kinds of different decisions. But this product is still going to be LBMA approved product, which you can see, touch, hold, feel, and is tangible. And it's at a fraction of the price. As an example, if we look at the spot price of silver at $26, to buy in US dollars, one 100-ounce RCM silver bar through our website, we're looking at a cost of around $31.50 right now, give or take. That same 100 ounces bought through a bulk bullion account would be about almost $4 less, would be around $27.50, give or take. And that means that you're having a very significant savings. So in Canadian dollars, that 100-ounce RCM silver bar might cost you around $3,900, $3,950 right now Canadian. But using bulk bullion, that same 100-ounce purchase would be around $34.50. So you have a very significant advantage to using the bulk bullion to save a ton of money.
Again, this is physical product we're talking about here, and reaching out simple 1-888-335-8645 and deltaharbor.com. To people who are interested in the bulk bullion, do they still have the same sort of latitude as far as what they're choosing, bar size, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, there is a very great deal of flexibility in this program. If you want to convert to a premium bar, like a 100-ounce RCM bar or 10-ounce RCM bar or 1-ounce silver bars, you can even go with 1,000-ounce silver bars if you like. There's a lot of options available and a lot of different product types available. But again, the whole idea of bulk bullion is to save that money in your pocket. You want exposure to physical silver and gold, but here's an option where A, you don't have to take it home. B, you can buy and sell by telephone. And we'll get into the benefits in the next segment, but the buying and selling aspect of it is extremely easy. All accounts are put online, John, so that you get an up-to-the-minute idea of where you stand on your account, and you get the ability to either A, work directly with a representative at Delta Harbour to buy and sell your product, or B, you can actually self-direct your account. So you can open up your bulk bullion account, put your funds in there, buy your silver and gold, and you can actually direct the buying and selling yourself through your app. So these options are make this account very flexible and very simple to use. And I would love for our clients to request more information about this, potential clients, because they'll be amazed at how great this account can be for them.
Yeah, it seems like, with those cost savings of the bulk bullion, it's a perfect storm, because you just increase your holdings as far as getting more stuff into your account as well.
Well, that's it. I mean, when it comes down to it, if we're using the same dollar, and we'll maybe give an example in the next segment, if you're using the same dollar, bang for your buck wise, you're getting a whole lot more option. And then when you throw in the additional variable of the financing, which is available to every single client that opens up a bulk bullion account, which can use the underlying collateral that you bought, your silver and gold, as a way to finance more product. Well, that just throws in an awesome option for really maximizing every single dollar that you put into the marketplace, which we'll discuss, I guess, when we come back in the next segment and talk a little more about this bulk bullion financing option here, as we get great bargain prices on gold and silver this week.
We'll do exactly that, Darren, after a short break. And you want to reach out now anytime, as a matter of fact, deltaharbor.com, Harbor with a U, and the phone number always 1-888-335-8645. We'll continue. This is Hard Money on Sauga 960. Welcome back to Hard Money. Darren Long is here. Rob and Roy also there to answer your phone calls. In fact, the entire team at Delta Harbour is ready to educate you and get this part of your portfolio up and running. We are talking physical metals here. If you've never had this, other than maybe like a set of earrings or something around your wrist or a watch, this is something completely different. If you haven't gone down this road as far as expanding your investment portfolio, here is a good way to start. Has been around for thousands of years, so it has stood the test of time. You got to get some for yourself. Again, talking physical metals here. deltaharbor.com, Harbor with a U, and 1-888-335-8645. Again, talking about this topic of the bulk bullion, which really makes financial sense. And as far as accumulation of metals in your own personal account, physical metals, Darren, it makes even more sense. Always love this part. And, it's good for a lot of people to own physical gold and silver this way. A lot of it's peace of mind as well, right?
Well, it is, I think, because most people that don't know about bulk bullion think to themselves, well, I must have to take the 100-ounce silver bar or the 10-ounce gold bar home with me in order for it really to make total sense. And sure, I get that. I understand people that want to own their product at home in their own safe or vault and things like that, but it's not insured. It's less liquid that way. You can't buy and sell it because it's in your possession, not ours. And the option to do what we had said with the bulk bullion in the last segment, which is to use it as collateral for additional product, that's not there. So again, this bulk bullion account really does maximize the way you can invest, and it does give peace of mind. These accounts are 100% insured, just like our regular accounts, one-to-one coverage, no concerns whatsoever. They're using major storage facilities around the world. Here at home in Canada, we use one of the largest vaults in Canada known to the bullion industry, and that is in Mississauga. So your product is tangible under non-COVID conditions, normal conditions. You don't need to be accompanied. You can make an appointment and go and see your product. It's audited product. We get audited on a regular basis, which means it's there and they know that the physical account is accurate and it's stable. This product is being held in stable jurisdictions around the world. So you're getting exposure to a market which keeps you liquid in bulk bullion, unlike normal bullion. I can't wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning with a 100-ounce silver bar and decide I either want to sell it or I want to buy more. In this account, you can. The bulk bullion account has some tools built into it that none of our other accounts have, and it allows us to put stops on the buy and sell side in, which allow us to accumulate more because our partner, Precious Metals International, is connected to the global marketplace, which means all of their products are available throughout all hours of the day, from Sunday evening to Friday evening, 24 hours a day. And we'll certainly be able to discuss that with any new clients. But what it means is protection is second to none. If you've made a ton of profit and you think Sunday night is going to be the night that when it opens in the Asian market, the price of gold might come off a bit and you want to protect your position, great. You put in a stop sell. Boom, your position has been sold off. You wake up on Monday morning, you've got cash in your account, you're ready to go again and buy more. This is one of the advantages of it, and this product is deliverable. At any time, you can take this product and convert it to 100-ounce bars or 1,000-ounce bars. Do whatever you want, but your premiums are going to be limited until you do that. And that convertibility means you can take home other types of bars, or you can have bars put into other types of accounts. Or if you just want to take direct delivery of a few ounces of your profit, well, then you can do that as well. But it is also convertible. So if you own silver, you've made money, and you'd rather take home gold, you can use your profit to take home gold instead. The options are very abundant that way, and it's what we love about the account. So flexible, and storage-wise, you're looking at 1.5% cost of storage of the total metal per year, and that makes it very affordable. So it is an easy option to consider, and all these benefits weigh in a decision to get involved in this market, and makes it very, very simple.
It's really cool. There's also that option, of course, as you mentioned, to finance this, so people can either, hold a little powder back, or they have the option to go all in, because as you mentioned, and also with this thing, time is of the essence too. I mean, people I know for sure, once they get a taste of what this is like, actually having physical metals and watching it grow and accumulating more, they might want to do exactly that, get in and out on a phone call and have it stored. They can do it quickly and add to their position as well. But it's all pretty convenient, right?
It's all self-contained, and they use the existing collateral, which is the gold or silver that you bought when you originally opened up your account, and they will extend up to an additional 80% of your purchase to purchase more metals. I mean, and you can look at it in two ways, John. You need no additional collateral. There are no credit checks, because the underlying collateral is there in the account in storage, so they don't have to worry about there being a need to make sure you're credit worthy or anything like that, because the collateral is already there in the account. Financing is something that not everybody has to use. There's no obligation, but ultimately it is a very, very effective way to be involved in this marketplace, because you can either take it from one or two perspectives, which is to say, maybe instead of spending $1, I want to spend maybe 30 cents of that dollar and hold back 60, 70 cents for a rainy day, maybe to cost average, or perhaps use on another investment in the short term that offsets the cost of borrowing. And that's an option for you. Or if you want to take $1 and you want to buy a little bit more and to use that because you can afford to do so, then the option's there for you to do that as well. Instead of buying, let's say, 1 ounce of silver, you'll get 3 or 4 ounces of silver. And that's an awesome option as well, because that gives you an entire new level of flexibility and exposure to an asset, which, if you believe like us, is going to be on fire over the next few years. So ultimately, it's a huge opportunity for you to make a very, very solid return, provided you've done your due diligence and this is what you feel is best for you as an investor. So it's in a very exciting way to be involved in the market. And ultimately, right now, John, as we said in the first segment, this is the moment whereby there is a lot happening. Economically speaking, this cannot stay the course. We cannot see another round of new growth as soon as interest rates start to move off the floor, and that debt that's been accumulated so quickly, yet again, another time in our last 10, 15 years in which we've seen this quantitative easing come out so fast, is going to be turned off. Those spigots are going to be turned down. This amount of printing is going to slow down. Here in the US, we're going to see the amount of social support dwindle by end of year, CERB payments start to decrease. We're going to try to get back onto our own 2 feet and try to breathe on our own once again. And I think that that's going to present some very big issues. People are going to be somewhat hesitant to spend. We're going to see confidence levels drop. Retail sectors have been very heavily damaged by COVID. I think this is the perfect moment to not only ensure your wealth with gold and silver, but also to use it as a mechanism to grow your wealth as the stock markets capitulate, turn over, and we wait for the next boom in the marketplace.
Again, reaching out 1-888-335-8645, deltaharbor.com. I know we got a break in about a minute, but from your experience, what is the what's generally, as far as the bulk bullion is concerned, what's the favorite metal kind of going in? More people buying silver than gold. I know you love silver. I do love
silver, and again, that might be where my bias lies. And I'm an easygoing person, so it's easy for me to say that when a person talks to me and they give me the right to answer for them, I'm usually going to say silver, John, and that's where I would say 80% of the buying in the bulk bullion account goes directly into silver. It is truly undervalued at this point in time, as much as 100% undervalued, in my opinion, at this point. This should be trading closer to $50 to $60 an ounce right now at this very second. And here we are in the middle of June, just saw 28, almost 29. On our way to 30. Most analysts agree 2 closes over 30, all heck breaks loose, and this metal goes right to 40. So to see it pull back in June, as it typically does on seasonality and a few other factors, it's a buying opportunity. Look, you went to the marketplace and something that you buy on a regular basis is half the price, 20% off. Of course, you're going to buy more than one of it. So this is what this is, just a buying opportunity. It's very quiet right now. People are focused on summer, and this is the opportunity for you to get in here and do that. When we come back, John, why don't we give an example actually of how to get into this market?
You bet. Always good to talk about finance and get to the meat and potatoes of the whole thing. In the meantime, reaching out, deltaharbor.com, Harbor with a U online, and 1-888-335-8645. We'll continue Hard Money right here. Sauga 960. All right. Number four. If Rob's ready. Oh, okay, good. And coming down at 3, 2, and 1. Welcome back to Hard Money. Good to have you along for the show. We are talking about getting your portfolio fatter and nicer and more profitable for you. Moving ahead, if you haven't gone down the road of heavy metals, or at least precious metals, rather, you can do that. Gold and silver is the basic focus, but there is others. You want to reach out to Darren and the team to discuss your options. 1-888-335-8645. And Delta Harbour with a U, deltaharbor.com to start. We talked just at the end of the last segment. It applies to both as far as silver and gold is concerned, Darren, but let's use the example. Let's focus a little bit for the next little while on silver and go through some basic financing examples as far as getting off the ground and making maybe that first purchase with silver. How does it work? Give me some money examples.
Well, if we're using bulk bullion, and this is essentially, as we said in the last couple of segments, a way in which a person gets exposure to actual physical gold and silver. It's tangible, 1-to-1. So whatever you buy, it's your product, but it is not going to be in the premium bar form. So you're not buying a 100-ounce bar. You're just buying a portion of the ounces in the inventory, which are tangible. They're audited products. They can be bought and sold very easily. And John, as we said in that very last segment, silver. I mean, undervalued, my favorite metal. presents as a great opportunity. If you read the story of silver, you'll be blown away at the fact that all these other precious metals are hundreds, even thousands of dollars. And here is little old silver trading at around $26 to $27 an ounce. Kind of ridiculous. We certainly talk about it enough till we're blue in the face ad nausea, but the bulk bullion account, the most common purchase made is 1,000-ounce silver account. And if we were to compare the two options, to take home, let's say 10 100-ounce RCM silver bars today, as we're taping this show with spot silver in the $26 range, we would be looking at a price of around 38 to 39,000 Canadian. Mm-hmm. And that would get you 10 100-ounce silver bars, free shipping home. Those are yours. And that's an option. You could do that right now if you want, if you're a listener, and that's what you want to do. You have an idea budget-wise, you can go from there. However, if you wanted to use bulk bullion, that cost would be not 38 to 39. That cost would be somewhere in the neighborhood of around 34 to 35,000. And that's without any financing. That's just a straight up purchase of 1,000 ounces in a bulk bullion account. And if you want to finance, then you can take it a step further and you can do one of two things. Because we told you that you can get that product that's going to be collateral in your account. So now they'll extend the financing options to you inside of that account. And you can do one of two things. One, instead of spending that 38 or 39,000, you could spend as little as $9,500 Canadian. Right now, you'd own 1,000 ounces of silver, everything bought and paid for, product in your account, and you could always add or subtract to that, and you've held back a big chunk of money. So if you haven't spent the rest of those dollars, they can either be sitting there for a rainy day, maybe to cost average, or buy some other types of product, gold, maybe platinum or palladium in those accounts as well. Or you can just hold it and put it into another investment while you're seeing your silver investment grow over the short to medium term. Or the second option, that same 38, 39,000, instead of buying 1,000 ounces, would allow you to buy up to around 4,500 ounces of silver. Now, every dollar of movement is $1,000 return. It's $4,500 return. That's 4.5 times as much. And that option is really what it comes down to in terms of people who are looking for the financing. They want boom. They want a big opportunity for every dollar they're putting into the market. They may have $50 or $60 or $100,000 to spend, but they want the same bang for their buck, but only having to spend a significant amount less. And in that example of 1,000 ounces of silver, as I said, those two options are there on the table for you. If you want to finance as a client, you still get all the beautiful flexibility of the being able to buy and sell. You can self-direct or work through a representative at Delta. The choice is yours. Your accounts are online. They're private and they're known by you only. So if you want to make decisions, changes to your accounts, you can do that. And the only other people that will know about your changes are at Delta here. So this bullion holding is still very private and very, very much one-to-one between you and your bullion. And it's tangible. It's allocated product in the Precious Metals International Vault. So it gets audited and we get those audit reports. So we know the product is there. And that product can be converted to any other type of product you want at any time based on the value of your metal. And you can take delivery of that product if you want to convert to different types of bars at any point in time. So the flexibility of these accounts is tremendous, John. And right now, with silver the way it is, as cheap as it is, look, if I put a lousy 1,000-ounce account into silver right now, I need around only a $7.50 move in the price of silver to double my money. And that wouldn't matter whether I put in 5, 10, 15, 20,000 ounces. I would only need around a $7 move to double my money. If you're in this market and you're looking at gold and silver as an option for you, you like the story, you think silver is going to be a big winner, $7 move is nothing in this market. We've already been over 30, we've been over 40, we've been to 50, and that's exactly where I believe silver is heading. So I love to see people get involved in this market and get some silver and gold into their portfolio using bulk bullion.
DeltaHarbor.com, Harbor with you to reach out online, and 1-888-335-8645. You know, it's interesting. It's a really interesting way to open an account. And you've sanded off any rough edges and sharp corners on this one. There really is no negative aspect to it. I mean, it's I hate to use a tired term, but it's a no-brainer really if this is your first venture into physical metals, right?
Well, it is, and it allows lots of flexibility. So if you're buying, the liquidity option there is the highest of any account we offer. The ability to be buying and selling in all markets worldwide through the change of time over the evenings, overnight, that is definitely a step above the normal amount of buying and selling that we can do. And this account option is there for that. So I like the options for the peace of mind. Look, financing isn't for everyone, John. Not every single client that comes in, opens up a bulk bullion account, is going to want to finance their metal. That option is available to every client, but it's not necessarily something they have to do. What I want to do is I want to save as much money as possible when I'm purchasing gold and silver. And when I came across this option back in 2002 and then started using it in 2004 for my clients, I was amazed and blown away at what happens when we don't get too greedy, when we look at the overall marketplace, and when we participate through these climactic moments like we're about to see. And if you look back to 2002 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8, and 8 to 11, those are four very climactic moments in which clients that use bulk bullion stood far better off overall as a percentage of return on investment per every dollar that they put in than a regular buyer of silver or gold who just took it home with them. And so ultimately, that's something that you have to take into consideration. What's important to you? Is it insurance? Is it the diversification of your portfolio? Is it making money? What is the primary reason for you to want to own silver and gold? And then put it all together in a package. And it might be everything, all of the above. But ultimately right now, John, people have a very limited window to buy up an asset which is extremely undervalued in silver. I like gold where it's at. Recently, over the last 5 days, nice break in price, both metals off about 6-7%. This is where we go in, and this is what we do when we're talking to our clientele about buying those dips.
And you can do that. Start with a phone call, 1-888-335-8645. We'll do that nicely. And you can reach out to the team online as well, deltaharbor.com. That's Harbor with a U, because this investment, of course, is all about you and increasing your portfolio. We'll take one more short break, Darren. Lots more to go here on Hard Money, right here on Sauga 960.
Oh.
One more. This is it. All right, here we go. And coming down in 3, 2, and 1. Welcome back, Hard Money. Good to have you on the show today. If we have piqued your interest with options for buying physical metals, be it gold or silver, simply reach out, man. Get educated. Take the first step and have a conversation. See if it fits for you, and get the juices flowing, and maybe expand your portfolio if you've never had gold or silver or other variety of precious metals physically in the account that you can hold. You want to do that. Increase your portfolio. Simple. 1-888-335-8645 and deltaharbor.com. You know, Darren, you mentioned off the top of the show that there was some things that happened this week that impacted the price of gold and silver. What stands out as being the biggest single reason in your mind that gold and silver dropped a little bit this week?
Well, as I mentioned off the top of the show, John, the number of things that are being discussed by analysts is overwhelming. It gives me a headache. We're talking about FOMC minutes, what the Federal Reserve is saying in the U.S. They're talking about the change in tonality and verbiage and things like that. They're picking apart all these useless little bits of criteria. Well, look at a chart of gold and silver. Seasonality tells us that during the month of June, for 30 years, gold and silver have come down in price. Doesn't matter what the reason is. It happens every single year. And every single year I've gone through this for 17 of them, John, called up clients and told them, I know you're on summer vacation, Mr. Smith, Mr. Johnson, whoever the client is, but this is a buying opportunity. And you put me, you gave us the respect and trust to put you into a position to be diversified, to own this as insurance, to make money. And I'm calling you to touch base and let you know where we're at. Whether you buy or not is up to you. I don't have any ability, and these accounts are all self-directed. But I believe right now, John, that seasonality is dictating why silver and gold drop. All of the rest is white noise. It could be for any number of reasons that we say there was a trigger event or the announcement of tapering of the printed money. Any one of those things could be a trigger event, but ultimately gold and silver do present in June with buying opportunities year over year. We sent out a newsletter this week, or actually we're about to. So get on that newsletter if you want it. Just let us know. Go to the website, fill out the information, and let us know you want that newsletter. And you'll get a copy of this week's article in that newsletter, which will be posted to our site, which talks about the seasonality of gold and silver and how important this is and how many people this week, especially colleagues in this industry that are big names, that are missing this, that are just not talking about it. This is the seasonality of gold and silver. And ultimately, each firm that's involved in the gold and silver market will stake their own belief here and there, and everybody has their different takes on the market. But these are just trigger events, which ultimately lead to this idea that June is a month where we see buying opportunities present themselves. It's quiet typically, but with work from home and COVID the way it's been, people are on the phone. Our office is abuzz. We've turned off the phones today because they were going crazy. And so everything is quiet here in the office where I'm taping, but ultimately this is a point at which I cannot believe the amount of traffic on our site and on our call lines for people wanting to get a little bit more information. So ultimately, that seasonality is what's most important to me. And I think that if you look at it, John, from a very practical standpoint, you've got a turn of the tides here. You've got weak marketplaces the world over. Most of those marketplaces globally are propped up by the amount of printing that has occurred. You've got weak consumer data. You've got data which is suggesting real estate prices are at a peak or already have turned the tide and dropping. We've got the expectation of higher interest rates. We've got weakness in the bond market. And all of that cannot just all of a sudden turn into organic economic growth. We can't witness another big cycle where stock markets double in size. So for that amount of time that it takes to reset, or a recession occurs, or any number of different things happen negatively, you want to be super insured in other ways. Diversify your portfolio. Talk to the people you trust about different options for hard assets. And if they are not talking about gold and silver, ask them why they're not talking about them. And if they aren't talking about them and they refuse to talk about them, maybe you have to look for a different opinion somewhere else. And that's where Delta might come in handy. So I would encourage people to look at our site, consume the education, the material, go to our YouTube channel and listen. We've been talking about, obviously, bulk bullion throughout this entire show. We have a whole seminar on it. You can just watch it from beginning to end and be super educated about everything we discussed today. And ultimately, this is about opportunity, John. That opportunity is knocking. We want to take advantage of it. Low-priced silver, very well-priced gold, both make for a good option for diversification right now.
Really simple to reach out to, honestly. DeltaHarbor.com, just that simple. Delta Harbor with a U, and 1-888-335-8645. Get Darren or a member of his team a call and have that conversation. Maybe it's something that is right in your wheelhouse that you should have in your portfolio moving forward. But I'm sure one of the first phone calls, or at least first conversations you have on the phone is, okay, Darren, you've convinced me to call you. Now here I am. Why would I choose you, Delta Harbor, over another company?
Well, we talk about the Delta difference, and we do it often, pretty much every week on the show. And it's important because it's a service we believe in. And we talk about the three fundamental pillars of all customer service, which is quality, service, and price. And so we've already got quality products. All of our products are LBMA approved. You're going to see minted products from the RCM, from the US Mint, from the various refiners around the world that have global brands. That's important. Number one, very pure product with very consistent weights, all LBMA certified. You want to know what LBMA certified is? Call me. I'll tell you and talk to you about the difference between LBMA certified product and non-LBMA certified product, and why that non-LBMA product gets a lower price when you come to sell, which is something nobody thinks about. So that's part of that Delta difference. We do give quality service. Oh my gosh, John, I delivered personally, the director of Delta Harbor, one of three, delivered personally bullion to clients this week because I want to get out and see and say hello. Not everybody can do that. It's curbside drop off. And we observe all of the applicable rules, social distancing with the mask and all of that. But on deliveries that are close to us that we can drive out, this particular one yesterday was in Brampton. I want to get out and see everybody that can't come to our office right now because of COVID. And we're opening up. We're seeing Ontario get certainly vaccinated well enough that we can get our patios out there and get going again. So that service, which people have come to know as being synonymous with the name Delta Harbour Assets, that's there. It's just with COVID, you can't see it as often. And then the last thing is price. John, I think the biggest difference is price. We typically on 90% of our products beat all of our competitors in Canada. And that's big and small, short and tall. If you can find me a better price and I can't beat it, I'm going to bow down to you and apologize. And I'm going to find a way to get you another product. I promise. That's my guarantee. But ultimately, that's because I believe Delta focuses in on the client and the long-term picture, John, not just the single transaction, not just how much can we make off a client, which is exactly what people think and take advantage of during these moments in time when the supply-demand scenario gets out of whack. So all of those things add up. And then the options, John, lastly, are the options. You can take your product home with you. You can use bulk bullion like we discussed in today's show. You can put it into a TFSA or an RSP, a LIRA, a RIF, an RESP for the kids. There's lots of options for that. You can also do the collateralized financing. If you have a bulk bullion account, you want to use your metal as collateral, you can buy a whole lot more using that collateral or lay out a whole lot less initially if you want to use that financing option. So all of that together makes up the Delta difference. John brings it back into the fold, and it tells us that clients and their feedback are, giving us the insight we need and reminding us that we all want to be treated as humans. We all want to be treated as good people, and that's what we've gotten away from in our customer service, and that's what the Delta difference is all about.
And that'll do it for another week. Some good advice there. At least start with a phone call, reach out, talk to Darren and his team, and get started. 1-888-335-8645. Online, of course, deltaharbor.com. That's Delta Harbor with a U. deltaharbor.com. We'll catch you next time. Hard Money on Sauga 960.